Hi everybody, this is Pam with Jesusjunkjournals, and I am back with more cluster making. And I didn't come up with any like astounding new techniques for this, but I did come up with a few things I wanted to add. So I've got a couple of tickets, materials, things like that, some torn pages and another ticket and some green stamps, and I have these cupcake holders or whatever they're called that my sister gave me, and they're tea dyed. And so I took one of those and I tore it in half. So I'm going to use those on a couple, just little things like that. And then I remembered that I have a whole container of tiny scraps, because you can make where you take and make these little trims, and you take all your small pieces and you sew them onto a piece of fabric, and then I just glued that on the edge of the paper. Oh, snippet rolls. Yes, snippet rolls. That's what these are for. And I've been collecting them for a long time, I guess. I thought I didn't realize I had that many. It's time for me to go make some snippet rolls. But I thought I could also use that for these. I know you guys are probably thinking, well, yeah, of course you could. I just didn't think about it. I was over here tearing fabric up, and I've got these. So I'm going to try and incorporate some of these smaller pieces, because some of these are really small. So we'll see. But I'm really having a good time with this, better than I thought. I've not made these before, but I think I will be definitely making these in the future. But these words that Leona gave us, it just makes it perfect, because they're the obvious focal point. So you don't have to really stretch too far to come up with a focal point. You've already got them. So I am just going to start laying out there. I'm going to start laying out some clusters, and I tore up a hem because I wanted some of that. And so I'm just going to start doing that. So let me do some green stamps. Let's see. Well, let's see what I have in my... Of course, I'm always concerned about color more than I probably should be. See, there's some small pieces. I've got some small ribbons, though, that might work. Little pieces of lace. Colors, let's see. Understanding. And let's say there's some more lace. I'll do access there. And I've got pieces of this Battenberg lace, but it needs some color with it. Just make it show up. Praise givers. Do I have anything in here that might go with that? I just hope I'm not going to get too big. I don't want real gigantic clusters. Let's see. Raised up. It takes more time than I realize, because I get a little bit picky, because I want the colors to go together. Raised up, and then the button will set that off. So Okay, that's really fun to lay those out. Like I don't want to stop, but I'm running out of room. So I'm going to go ahead and put the buttons on and start to sew these into clusters. And let's see. So let's see what do I have that I can. Well, that kind of needs that one, doesn't it? And let's see. Body of Christ, I could do that one. No, let's see. I thought I had a lot of buttons, but this makes me want more buttons. More different buttons. I need a red button. I've got a bunch of red buttons. I'll wait and get a... We're reading the Bible. My husband and I are reading the Bible together. We read it out loud every morning, and it's amazing how much more you get out of it when you read it out loud. I'm kind of going through the Bible twice this year. I'm doing the Bible recap, which is a great program if you haven't done it. But I'm doing it on my phone, and I'm reading it, and it seems like I find myself getting behind, and I also find myself reading it in places like, the waiting room at the doctor's office, which is fine. It's fine to do that. But what I'm finding is I get a lot more out of it when I'm sitting there at the dining room table, nothing else going on, and my husband and I are taking turns reading it out loud, than I do when I'm just skimming over it with my phone. I don't know. That's just me, but I don't know if not everybody probably has somebody to read it with, but I also know from the past that I had the Bible on CDs in my car years ago, and I would listen to it, and I was so shocked at the things I was hearing because it was just different. I got a whole lot more out of it, different things out of it when I heard it read out loud than I did when I read it myself. And I'm sure I got things when I read it myself that I didn't get when I heard it on the CD in the car, because you get distracted if there's something going on with traffic and stuff. Anyway, I guess what I'm saying is it's good to do it in different ways, and you'll hear things that you didn't hear when you do it a different way. I know it's on YouTube. You can just play a book of the Bible on YouTube, and there's different versions, so you can get the version you want. Okay, which one was on here? Peace or forgiveness? I don't know that it matters, but I think I'll wait and do all the gluing at once and try to do all the sewing right now. Let's see if I can do that. I also yesterday was my day to have, I've got 2 Bible studies I'm sort of leading at my house. One is on the book of Revelation, and I've got 15 people in it, and everybody's really enthused and excited, and I'm really happy about it because I wasn't sure. I have his name is Hilton Sutton, and he's passed on now, And he has videos on YouTube of his study on Revelation. He also has a book called The Book of Revelation Revealed. And it's an older set of videos, and the book you can get, but sometimes you have to get the used copy. I think it's out of print, and so they're available if you get the used ones. But anyway, I had done it with my husband a few years ago, and we really got a lot out of it. And so that's the one I chose to do, and I was really nervous about it because it's the quality of the videos, they're kind of fuzzy because they're actually done back in the 90s. But his information is timeless, right? And so he's a great teacher, and he's very interesting, I thought. And so I was just like, I hope these people think so. And so we've done our third one. Everybody's very happy with it and enthusiastic. And so that one's been going really well. And then I'm doing my Bible Basics again, which is the one that I've actually put on my channel here for anybody that might want to watch it. And it's just for anybody who has not read the Bible, or I don't know, I guess it's for anybody. But I aimed it for people who maybe had not read the Bible all the way through yet, or wasn't that informed about the Bible. But it's I've got people in it right now that are mature Christians and know things, and they seem to be interested. This is a cute one. I like this one. I like the button and the fabric. Okay. So anyway, I did that one yesterday, and it was the first session, and so going over, things like how long it takes to actually read the Bible, because that's something that intimidates people. I always thought, oh wow, to read the Bible, that would take forever. But I looked it up, I Googled it, and it only takes 65 to 75 hours to read the Bible. And that's if you think about a work week as 40 hours. So if you use 2 work weeks, you could read the Bible. But I know that would be reading it solid for 8 hours a day, and no one would do that. But it's just to kind of give you a perspective of how long it takes. It's not that long. And you can look up on YouTube, the different books of the Bible, and it'll say how long it takes for that person to read it. So like Genesis, I forget how long it is. But it just isn't as long as you think. And so I think that's kind of interesting. Okay, now what was this one? This one looks like it kind of fell apart some way or other. I bet it was this. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Maybe I want it this way. I'm also thinking about what the next journal kit will be. And I'm going to do one on creation, I think. I had a request for that one. So I think I will make that the next one, unless something else pops up. But the 7 days of creation, it could be a fun subject for a journal. I'm sewing these like they're going to be on clothing. I guess I don't have to sew them that much. All right. These things are not staying put, so I think maybe I should glue first. All right, I'm gonna switch over and glue some of these now. Everything's stitched together, but I need to glue this on. Okay, this makes more sense. Glue it first. Oh, that one's glued. Okay, I guess I was waiting to... I'm just going to go ahead and glue this. Kind of hold it in place. Okay, I think I've got most of those glued. Okay, I'm back. I got that bunch stitched and glued and buttons on and everything. And so now I'm going back for the next round. And I went over and I found this old package of rickrack that I thought the label would be interesting. And the rickrack itself would be interesting. I like the color of it. I'm going to cut a piece of that. And while I have it open, I'm going to cut a couple pieces for my scrap jar just to have them in there. So I went through my scrap jar and pulled out some interesting pieces. And I also went through my paper, a different paper, bunch of paper I have, and just pulled out some pieces I like, and also some purple things because I don't have a lot of purple, but I have purple buttons, a couple of them. So I thought I'd try to do something with purple here. So I'm just going to start again with laying these out. And here's my, oh, that doesn't stand out. That does. I think that must be part of that. So I'm going to put that away. I also have this, I have this trim that I've had for over 20 years. I've been hoarding it, and I cut off just little pieces of it to put on a couple. So broke out the vault and the trim in the vault. And then I've got these scraps that I thought I pulled out that I thought I could use. And I think I'm going to go back in and get, I think I have a couple more red buttons in my button box that I can use, but just some interesting scraps here. I went to a fabric store and they sold like a bag of scraps for a couple dollars, and I bought it, and there was some pieced things in it. So that's a piece of that. So is that too busy? Yeah, that's too busy. Okay. So maybe some gold or yellow. So I've got a couple of yellow buttons. Let's see. That might be a little big for a, I'm going to tear that in half, I think. And I feel like it needs some gauze or something behind it. Some white. So let me cut some more gauze up. And there's some brown. Okay. Where did it go? Okay. So I'll do one of these bigger ones filled with Christ. Okay, and then this one, let's do the purple. Let's see. Maybe this is too big of a piece. Acceptance. And I'll just put these with it for now. A little white button on that one, maybe. Oh, here's some more, another purple. Sanctified. And I'll use whichever button doesn't get used over there. Okay, I am back, and I went ahead and I've laid these out. I got some different colored buttons, and I found some little metal charms that I had that I think I'll sew on instead of buttons on some of them. But as far as instead of a button, I'm going to use this trim on these two. So now I'm ready to glue. I thought I would save you guys having to watch me sit here and put these different pieces of fabric together. And I need to make sure this word gets to be the important thing. So there's that. I think I got everything glued, so I'm gonna go back now and glue or stitch the buttons on, and then I'll be back. Okay, I didn't realize I didn't have my microphone on. So what happened was I checked these alphabetically, and I realized I had one missing, Freedom. So, and if you have Leona's book, you can go in the front, there's an index of the 54 words, and you can check off the words, make sure you have them all. And that's helpful if you want to make sure you get them all. So I had one missing, which was Freedom. So I went ahead and just wrote it myself on a piece of cardstock, and then I'm creating another cluster. So that will make sure I have all 54 words. So I'm going to get a button and sew on that, and that will be it. But I alphabetized them here so I could check them. And so here they are all in line and finished, except for this one. So I hope you enjoyed watching that. I had fun making them. Now I'm concerned about how I'm going to get them all in the book and if they're going to fit. So, and if the colors go and all that sort of thing. So we'll see. Stay tuned, and we will come back and work on this again. So thanks for watching. Bye-bye.